Hello everybody, as I promised you in the last video, if you watch my video about obesity and overweight and extra kilos, whatever you want to call it, and in the last video I promised you I was going to share this amazing exercise that I created to liberate you of all of those extra kilos, but also those extra emotional kilos that you've been carrying around. This exercise, I have put it in practice already. I had somebody with me that has been overweight all her life pretty much, and she also carries a lot of emotional baggage. So this exercise is amazing, and I'm very visual, so I'm gonna show you visually what this exercise is all about. But first of all, I want to talk about something that we all know, but we need to understand this. Every single human being, doesn't matter which human is, it doesn't matter if it's the Pope, if it's the president, if it's the richest person in the world, if it's just somebody like me, like you, like anybody, any person in the world always is looking for something that it's called, am I worth it? Am I being seen? Am I being heard? Am I worth it for you? Do I matter for you? This is basics for every single human being. And when this is not present in our lives, when we haven't been seen, when we haven't been heard, when our lives didn't seem to matter to other people, to our parents, to our family, we start carrying this luggage with us. And this is what this exercise is all about. But this always starts with one memory. One. It's always one. If you watch my video about overweight, that video I show how to get to that number if overweight is your problem. Now, if you're not overweight or you don't have obesity, well, then it doesn't matter. We always carry one memory in our lives that has created all these other luggages in our lives, in our body, sometimes in our head, in us. So for that reason, I'm gonna use stones as an example. So this is a stone from Tenerife. This is where I am now, and this is a very volcanic island, and it is a volcanic island. And here I went one day with a friend of mine, which she is overweight and she has a lot of luggage also, emotional luggage, and we did this exercise and it was so cathartic. And I thought, I need to share this with everybody. So first of all, we need to identify which one is that first memory. Was that my dad that abandoned me? Was that my mom that abandoned me? Was that my grandmother that didn't protect me? Was that my mom that didn't protect me? The one that made me feel isolated, unprotected. Because that memory of abandonment, unprotected, that normally is the first memory we have. But it has other stones that we've been carrying for that. But it's always one memory. That time when our lives didn't matter for somebody, or at least it felt that way. That time when I wasn't seen by somebody, was not heard by somebody. So that was my first memory. And that stone, normally what happens is we protect it. We protect it because we need to protect our emotions, right? So what we do is we wrap it. We wrap it on a wrapping paper. We wrap it. And most of the time, it's not enough just to wrap it. that we need to put a bow on it. So we put a bow on it. And this is the classic lady that you meet at the market. And you never met that lady. But that lady comes to you and starts talking to you. And she says to you, oh yeah, because my husband left me. Yeah, he left me for another woman. And you ask that person, oh, was that recently? And she's like, oh, no, that was 20 years ago. But he left me. He left me for another woman. And that is abandonment. And that is that stone from that lady. The one that she wrapped tightly. She put a bow because now she's showing the world that her husband abandoned her. Even though it was 20 years ago. She keeps carrying that flag. She keeps carrying that package. Protected one. That creates all the problems in her life. She creates problems like now she cannot have another man in her life. She cannot have another relationship. She doesn't even trust her neighbor. Because she always feels that if she gets close to somebody, they can abandon her. And that probably started because her father abandoned her, or her mother abandoned her, or didn't protect her. She was not seen for somebody. And now once again in her life, her husband repeats that story for her. Because we never heal that first emotion. That first emotion that created this beautiful package. And for that, we've been carrying other stones. We're carrying the stone of guilt. That is a heavy stone. I feel guilty because I have an abortion. I feel guilty because I'm not with my children every day because I have to work. I feel guilty because whatever. Because we humans are great at creating our amazing stories of anything. So we carry many guilt stones. We carry the stones of shame. That is a heavy one. Because the difference between shame and guilt is simple. Shame says, I am bad. I'm stupid. I am not smart. I am lazy. I am not organized. I am. And that makes me feel shame. Now when it's guilt, it's another story. That is, I have done something. I have done a mistake. But that doesn't mean this is who I am. I just done a mistake. But shame is a very, very, very heavy stone. And we probably gonna find in our lives many, many shame stories. Where we feel shame of everything. But it always goes back to our childhood, to our ancestors, starting from our parents, from our grandparents, because we've been carrying those thoughts, those emotions that they carry, and we keep carrying it because this is what we learn. So we carry the stone of shame. We carry the stone of humiliation. How many times you've been humiliated? I was humiliated many times. And for that stone, I realized, for the many stones of humiliation, I realized not long ago that that's why I was so afraid to be in front of a camera and to do this. Because I was petrified of being in front of a camera. And that was because I was humiliated. And the first stone of humiliation that I recall was when I was 5 years old. And I had to have a blood test and a urine test. And there I was, 5 years old. I remember clearly, vividly. I can still remember. I was sitting in a potty on top of the hospital beds. And this nurse, which was not really good with children, I believe now, I remember now, looking back, she was not good with children, and I was petrified of the needle. The whole way of the way she was doing it, of what I remember, was terrible, and I was feeling terrible, and I was being humiliated. And she made me wee in front of everybody. Many nurses and many doctors would come and to check if I had wee. And I'm like, oh, no, I haven't. And now all I remember is this. So that was the first stone that I recall. And for that reason, and many other humiliations that I have in public, I was carrying the stone of humiliation and the fear stone, both. But because of this stone, now I'm afraid of going public. And if I go public, I may be humiliated again. Like I was when I was 5 years old, like I was when I was 15, 20, and all of those moments when I felt humiliated. We have the stones of secrets, family secrets, our secrets, all of those secrets, and we carry that weight. We also have stones of abortions, which that creates a guilt stone, which that creates sometimes humiliation, because somebody made us feel humiliated because we had an abortion. So we carry all those stones just because we did something that maybe was not good for everybody, or maybe was not good for me. But if I had an abortion, it's because this is stories already in my family of abortions. That baby just couldn't born. That is another story for another video. So we carry those. We carry the stones of anger, resentment, and we carry that. We carry that stone of something that somebody did to us 20 years ago. That person died already. I'm still angry at that person. Or actually that person abandoned us. Actually that person died. But we felt that they abandoned us. So we are angry at that person, even if it's my father, even if it's my mother. So we carry that also. We carry the stones of bullying. People that had bullied us, humiliated, all of that. We carry those stones too. We carry the fear stones, like I said too. All of that. So we do carry all of that. And I bet now, if you start collecting stones today, you're going to find many for each subject that I talk about it. You're going to find many. Because we are great collecting stones. We are amazing people doing that. So what I'm asking you today is that if you have a forest, a beach close to your house, even if it's outside your house and you have a couple stones, they're heavy ones. Don't choose the tiny little ones. That didn't hurt you. That's not heavy. When your father abandoned you, that is the big stone, because that's a heavy weight you're carrying. So I want you to choose stones according to what hurts you and how much weighs on you. You may say now, well, Claudia, I don't have stones in my house. I don't care. Grab bottles of water. Grab ornaments. That ornament that your mother-in-law gave you and you hate. Use that to put one of those stones. Maybe for the resentment one. Doesn't matter. You grab a bag and you carry. It has to be heavy, because that's what you're carrying. If you're overweight, choose a bag close to your extra kilos, extra pounds that you have. Grab the bag, a rucksack, whatever you need to use it. With a friend of mine, we just use the supermarket bags, but it's really heavy. Use all of those. Grab it, bottles of water, whatever you have. Just put it there. And you say, look, this bottle of water, it's my father abandoned me. This is when my husband left me for another woman. This is when my wife left me for another man. Doesn't matter. Just put it all there. And walk with that. Walk with that. And it has to hurt you. because that is on top of you already, but you just got used to. And when it starts really hurting you, you're gonna start choosing which ones you're ready to let go. Are you ready to let go of those stories of bullying that you had 20 years ago? People that bully you 20 years ago and you're still carrying that resentment. Are you ready to let go of that? Because that happened already. Are you ready to let go of the abandonment of daddy, mommy? It doesn't matter, because what happened, happened. And you can't change that. You can't change that. So are you ready to let go of that? Are you ready to let go of that stone? Which ones are you ready to let go is the question. So you keep walking and then you start choosing which ones you are not willing to come back home with us. That is my exercise for you. And I hope you do it. And you will see what an amazing journey it is to carry all that weight that you are carrying anyways, but now you're gonna feel it for real. I hope you can do it. And I hope you start this new year lighter. No more baggage. What happened, happened, and you can't change it. You can't change it, but you can change how you're gonna look forward, how you're gonna keep going to your life. And I hope you choose to go lighter with less luggage. So I invite all of you to grab those stones and let go, my dears, because you don't need all of that. That's my gift for you, and I hope you like it. Until next time.